Imagine a world where being sick isn't just a personal health challenge, but a business opportunity. A world where the medicines you rely on don't just treat your illness, they fill the pockets of corporations, earning billions in profit. It sounds shocking, maybe even exaggerated. But in the United States, many critics argue this is closer to reality than we think. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most controversial systems on the planet, the U.S. healthcare and pharmaceutical industry, a place where profits often seem to outweigh people. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this debate is one of the most important conversations in healthcare today. The United States is home to the largest healthcare market in the world. Americans pay more for medicines than almost any other country, often 2 to 4 times higher than in Europe. This enormous spending is driven by a system that allows pharmaceutical companies to set prices with minimal regulation, meaning that essential medications can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than they do elsewhere. While these companies have undeniably developed life-saving treatments, critics argue that the current structure prioritizes profit over patient access, making healthcare more about revenue than wellness. Big Pharma, the term used to describe the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, plays a central role in this system. These corporations have delivered countless breakthroughs, from vaccines to treatments for chronic and life-threatening diseases. Yet alongside these successes, there are serious concerns. Drug prices have skyrocketed in recent years, often rising far faster than inflation. Some cancer medications, for example, can cost patients hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, putting life-saving treatments out of reach for many. While companies claim these costs are necessary to fund research and development, critics highlight that much of the early-stage research is publicly funded, with private firms reaping massive profits when the drugs hit the market. The profit-driven nature of the system creates a tension between financial gain and patient welfare. Pharmaceutical companies spend billions each year not only on research, but also on marketing. In the United States, they are allowed to advertise medications directly to consumers, a practice that is prohibited in most other countries. These advertisements can shape public perception, encouraging the use of expensive drugs even when cheaper alternatives are available and sometimes promoting medications that are not strictly necessary. This combination of marketing power and profit motive has sparked concerns that health decisions are being influenced by money as much as by science. Doctors, too, can be influenced by this system. Studies have shown that financial relationships between physicians and pharmaceutical companies, including payments, gifts, or sponsorships, can affect prescribing behavior. Even small incentives have been linked to increased prescriptions of more expensive branded medications, sometimes when generic options would be equally effective. While most doctors maintain ethical practices, the system creates subtle pressures that can lead to decisions that prioritize corporate interests over patient affordability. Lobbying and political influence further reinforce the dominance of profit in the healthcare system. Pharmaceutical companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars annually lobbying lawmakers, shaping policies around drug pricing, patent protections, and insurance reimbursements. One notable example is the 2003 legislation that prevents Medicare from negotiating drug prices directly with manufacturers, a policy that critics say keeps costs artificially high. This lobbying power ensures that corporate interests remain a significant factor in how medicine is developed, marketed, and priced. The consequences of this profit-driven model are felt most acutely by ordinary Americans. High drug costs lead many people to skip medications, delay treatment, or choose which prescriptions to take based on affordability rather than medical necessity. Chronic disease patients, in particular, often face the heaviest financial burdens, with some forced to make impossible choices between medicine and other essentials. Research also shows that these costs disproportionately affect low-income communities and minority populations, deepening existing healthcare disparities and limiting access to life-saving treatments. While pharmaceutical companies often justify high prices as necessary for innovation, the reality is more complex. Much of the foundational research that enables new drugs is funded publicly, meaning that private companies are profiting significantly from work that the public initially funded. Critics question whether these profits are reinvested effectively into patient-centered innovation or primarily used to reward shareholders and executives. This raises ethical questions about who truly benefits from the medicines we rely on. It's important to recognize that the U.S. system is not inherently evil. Many life-saving treatments and breakthrough therapies originate here, improving millions of lives every year. However, the combination of high prices, aggressive marketing, political influence, and unequal access creates a system where profits sometimes appear to take precedence over patients' well-being. Comparing this to countries with more regulated healthcare systems highlights the stark contrast. In many European nations, medicines are more affordable, prices are negotiated by the government, and access is more equitable. Public awareness and reform efforts are slowly emerging. Policymakers and advocacy groups are pushing for initiatives such as allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices, increasing transparency in pricing, expanding the use of generics and biosimilars, and restricting certain marketing and lobbying practices. While progress is ongoing, major changes face intense resistance from powerful industry players, meaning that millions of Americans continue to navigate a system where cost and profit remain deeply intertwined with health. In examining the U.S. pharmaceutical industry, it's easy to become cynical. Yet it's crucial to balance criticism with perspective. Medicines and treatments developed by these companies save countless lives and improve quality of life for millions. The problem is not the science. It's the systemic incentives that sometimes prioritize corporate profits over patient welfare. Understanding this reality empowers people to make informed decisions, advocate for change, and navigate their own healthcare more effectively. Many viewers ask, does this mean pharmaceutical companies want people to remain sick? The answer is no. Researchers, scientists, and doctors are genuinely committed to improving health. However, the broader system, shaped by profit motives and policy decisions, can influence which medications are promoted and how they are priced. Similarly, this does not mean medicines are ineffective or unnecessary. Rather, the concern lies in cost, access, and fairness within the healthcare ecosystem. Ultimately, the question we must grapple with is whether healthcare should be treated as a human right or as a business opportunity. In the United States, this tension is palpable. Profits drive innovation, yes, but they also create barriers for patients who need care the most. By understanding these dynamics, individuals can advocate for systemic reforms, demand transparency, and make better-informed decisions about their health. As we've explored, the U.S. healthcare and pharmaceutical system is complex, powerful, and often controversial. Life-saving medicines exist alongside high costs, lobbying influence, and marketing pressures. Patients are caught in the middle, balancing their need for treatment with the realities of an expensive, profit-driven system. Awareness and understanding are the first steps toward change. So, what can viewers do? Stay informed, question marketing claims, explore generic alternatives, and engage in public discourse about drug pricing and healthcare reform. Each small action contributes to a larger conversation that could shape a more equitable system in the future. The debate over profit versus patient care is far from over, and by watching, learning, and sharing knowledge, you're participating in one of the most critical conversations of our time. If you found this video enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that uncovers the truths behind medicine, health, and the systems that govern them. Comment below with your thoughts. Should medicine prioritize health over profit? Your voice matters in this ongoing discussion. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding the system is the first step toward making it better.